this kind of a cognition, he says, Chidrupam vidhi muktaye, for getting liberation, recognize and realize this Chidrupa, the sentient nature of yourself, Janaka. So where is the focus? On you, within the body. Experience the thinker, the thinking substance. Experience the intelligencing process and understand where from does it proceed. Experience where from the wakefulness arises, into which we go to sleep, and what dreams. The whole mystery is within your body. Approach it through your intelligence with a sense of inquiry and dedication. Understand there are only two items in this world: the sentient presence within your body and the insentient whole world. Neither can become the other. You remain firm in this understanding. That understanding results in liberation. You will find that the practice of Brahma Vidya or God knowledge certainly asks for some prerequisites. These requisites are called sadhana chatushtayam. I am not going to elaborate them. For the study and pursuit of this godly science or self-science or the reality science, I have written a book in which it is called Reality and the Means to Trace It. That is actually a science by itself. It has to be done by the human personality. To some extent the senses on the body are involved. Then the mouth is involved as an instrument for articulation. Then we have the thinking and emotional mind to be purified, sublimated and integrated. And finally we have to sharpen and purify and make it more and more perceptive, our intelligence. So it is a wholesome, whole personality development and pursuit. This chatushtaya means four. Four prerequisites are there. One is the ability to discriminate between the real and the unreal. The entire world is perishable. Everything is getting destroyed and everything is changeful, including our own body, mind and intelligence. As a contrast to this, there must be something imperishable and non-evanescent. You must be able to distinguish between the two, the first prerequisite. The second is a kind of a strong dispassion towards the perishable things of the world and a craving for something imperishable. The third consists of a number of virtues, restraints and disciplines. The fourth is a burning aspiration to become free in your mind, heart and intelligence. Now here, Ashtavakra also speaks about a set of virtues and excellences. Janaka's question was, how can supreme knowledge, spiritual wisdom be acquired? When will moksha or liberation result? When shall we get rid of the shackles of the mind and the intelligence and become free, classically free, so to say? Then how can dispassion be cultivated? Then instantly, Ashtavakra Maharshi answers him saying that, Muktimicchasi chettata vishayan vishavatyaja kshamarjavadaya tosha satyam piyushavad bhaja. If you are an aspirant of spiritual knowledge and liberation, understand the way for you, the domain for you is not outside, but inside your body. So whatever is outside, you disregard them and discard them as if they were poison. Then the question arises, what is nectar? The nectar lies within your body in the field of your mind. It is verily nectar when you take to adopt and pursue a set of 5 virtues and embellishments. Kshama arjavadaya tosha satyam piyushavad bhaja. There are 5 virtues, he says. These are the nectar for you. And they are available to your mind. You have to install them, pursue them, perfect them, possess them, and be enriched by them. So they become inner personality enrichments and embellishments. This is what you have, what you want to have. So there are 2 items here. The external world, however alluring and fascinating the world objects are, all of them are only corroding your senses. Am I clear? You go on seeing a very pleasant object. As you see, the eye muscles, everything is getting tired. You have to blink your eyes frequently, to make them fresh. So every sensory enjoyment or indulgence is corroding in its effect. Am I right or not? Anything. If you go on speaking, you will become tired. If you go on walking, you will become tired. If you go on eating, dangerous. Everything is corrosive. Let us understand. Then what is that non-corrosive possession, enjoyment or practice that is within your mind? So in the mind level, you have to cultivate a set of 5 virtues or embellishments. And they are the nectar. And all the outside things are poison, he says. So the option before you is quite clear. What is the option? Choose the inner factors and get away from, if at all, not be proximate to them, get a little distance from the outer things. It is not an option, it is a compulsion. The seeker has no option before you. I am wondering whether you have. Do you have any option? Huh? You are not answering me openly. See the stealth in you. It's a stealth. It's a reluctance. Whenever something is exposed to you, at least in the lecture hall, can you not say yes or no properly? So there is no option. It's a compulsion, unconditional and instantaneous. What are the qualities of the mind and the intelligence? Every quality or enrichment in the human personality belongs to and relates to the mind and the intelligence. Whenever you speak of religion, metaphysics, philosophy, spirituality and yoga, understand it very clearly. Any value worth mentioning, any value worth pursuing, everything relates to the human mind and the human intelligence. See, we have founded an institution called Foundation for the Restoration of National Values in India. It's a kind of an institution which proposes to work in a very high level, in league with the parliamentarian members, the members of the executive and the members of the judiciary, to bring about sublime and salutary changes and improvements in the working of the governance and therefore the plight and the fate of the people. When describing the national values, I was very particular that no value should be mentioned or related to God or religion. All the values should be independently discussed, described and debated upon, presented before the people. Every value worthy of itself, you will find when properly explained, relates to the mind and relates to the intelligence. When a value is properly presented, you will find it will instantly evoke a twofold response from the hearer or the reader. What is the twofold response? An emotional persuasion and a rational compulsion. Emotional persuasion from the mind and a rational compulsion from the intelligence. If a value is properly explained, I will tell you any value whatsoever. When you hear it, you cannot oppose it. You cannot resist it. You may say, I will take time to practice it. But the value is a value. An individual has got value, family has got value, the social segment has, the nation has, the globe has, the universe and ecological sphere also has values. So value is not an option at all, it is a compulsion. Now here we are speaking of 5 values. What are they? Kshama arjavadaya tosha satyam piyushavad bhaja. Kshama means patience, tolerance and forbearance. Our present children lack this particular quality. Try to inculcate in them. Even as they are children, make them sit in a place. Sit. At least for 25 minutes or half an hour. That itself is a value. That alone will inculcate in them the quality of tolerance and forbearance. You are an individual. You are always interacting with a number of others. And the world consists of an ample and an astounding variety. You may have a certain nature and the others also will have their respective natures. So we are always in conflict with the others or in variance with the others. In all this variance, unless you have the power of tolerating, forbearing and assimilating the others and their natures, you will never be able to progress at all. So the real quality for success in any individual is the extent of tolerance and forbearance he is able to cultivate. This is called kshama. Shankara would put it very nicely. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apradikara purvakam chinta vilaparahidam sa tidiksha nigadyate. Any extent of misery you must be able to tolerate, forbear and dissolve in your own mind. There is no misery at all in your life except what and when the mind produces it. Do you agree or disagree? I dislike him. I dislike him. The dislike belongs to him or to you? Huh? Why you are keeping quiet? When you dislike something or somebody, the dislike belongs to you or to the object. So whose problem is dislike? And you must be able to tolerate and forbear it. So you cannot always work with a liking situation. You must be prepared to do what you dislike, and you must be prepared not to do what you like. If you can be flexible and assimilative about your likes and dislikes, then you are a successful person. Never feel that I will always do what I like. You must be able to do what you dislike. Maybe you like some things a little cold and your married partner does not like, then what will you do? You will abandon her and get hold of another. It is not possible at all. So all kinds of misery and affliction we must be able to treat, dissolve and assimilate in our system. This kind of a preparedness and a striving for this purpose, this is called kshama or tolerance. Arjava is another quality. It simply means simpleness and straightforwardness. When I read about it in Calcutta in my Purvashrama life, I was wondering, straightforwardness, this is what all of us are hearing, we want to be. But why is it put as a spiritual quality? Yes, it has to be put. I don't think many of you are straightforward. Even when I ask you questions, you are not answering me. If you are straightforward, you should answer me, say yes or no. You will hear it and then keep quiet. So is it straightforwardness? You may have some view, either yes or no. Whether affirmative or negative, you must be able to express it. Why are you not able to express it? That non-straightforwardness is responsible. Be honest, say what you are, say what you have in mind. One question, one answer, quite all right. So that arjava, straightforwardness, is something very, very important. Why is this arjava so much stressed? Because we lose our sincerity, openness and straightforwardness as we grow older and older. As a child, the child will say, I don't like you, I will not come, I will not eat, etc. Get angry anywhere, whenever he wants. But as he grows, you will find he is subject to a number of inhibitions and constraints. Now we must be able to get rid of all these things and be straightforward, simple and clean. A clean-slated person we should be. Daya means compassion and kindness. In the world there are a number of sites, a number of instances, a number of activities, responses, behavioral pattern, in a group, in a society, in the government, anywhere and everywhere. Understand, be compassionate to them. Never ridicule or disclaim. It is my society that is bad. It is an individual belonging to my society that is bad. So it is my society, so I cannot disclaim it. Have compassion for him. Never hatred, never dislike. You may disapprove of a number of traits, but you cannot dislike or disclaim anybody who has it. Am I clear or not? Yes. Huh? Yes. Be straightforward. Then tosha means contentment. Contentment is a quality, an emotion belonging to the mind. If you have the mind, train the mind to be contented. You cannot wait for smiling till all the things in this world are all right. We must be able to smile at everything, anything whatsoever. Contentment, contentment. See, one sight is clinging to me. In the World Cricket World Club, that world meeting, ultimately a team lost. One of the members of the losing cricket team, he was lying flat on the ground, not for 1 or 2 minutes, but several minutes. See, in the cricket, if you want somebody to win, somebody has to lose. Either you lose or you gain. So in losing, what is the wrong? If your role is not necessary, let one team play cricket alone. They need another team also. So when you have lost, you should be able to appreciate the victory of the other. That is called the sportful spirit. Instead of that, the man is lying flat on the ground, as if the heavens have fallen. What is this? Again he can play and he may win. So many times teams have lost and so many times they have won also. What is there special about it? Is there any game when success to one and failure to another both do not take place concurrently? If there is a summer, there is a winter, there is a rainy season. If there is a day, there is a night. All these are alternates and pairs of opposites. So we must be able to remain contented. You may have been sorry for something in the morning. Do not carry the sorrow and go on sulking in. What is this? Morning, a few minutes you were sorrowful. After that you get to your routine, read some comic if you want and start smiling. That contentment should be there. When you understand the nature of the world and the necessity for living at home in harmony with nature, with the world, automatically the contentment, lightness of the heart, poise of the intelligence, they start gracing you. Then satyam, truthfulness, incorruptibility. You must be truthful. When I ask you a question, how many answers will the question have? When I ask you what is your name, how many answers are there? Have you had your meals? How many children do you have? Are you married? Where are you working? All these questions have only one answer. People say people are not truthful. Without truthfulness, can the world survive? I am asking you. You get into a bus and on the board it is said it goes to Brickfield. Okay, you get into the bus and they take you there. Suppose the board is wrong or the driver does something wrong. Can you ever carry on? You go to a railway station or to an airport, pay the money, get the ticket. You have given X amount of money. He has received it. He gives you the ticket and a balance. Neither does he dispute nor do you dispute, and you have got a ticket for a journey after 1 month. You go to the railway station, in the platform you stand, the train arrives, your name is written, a berth is reserved for you. Is it truthfulness or untruthfulness? You give a thousand ringgit bill and ask for change. They will give you all change totaling up to 1,000. So is truthfulness right or not? So without truthfulness you can never live in this world. When I ask you who is your father, how many answers are there? Then what is it that you are saying? Truthfulness is a statement of what is present, what is a fact. It can never be otherwise. Truthfulness. And the truthfulness, you should not become corrupt. The whole world may be corrupt, but there should be a few people who are not. We are now living in Kali Yuga according to the Hindu almanac. In Krita Yuga, all people were performing very well. No tuition, no instruction, no command was necessary. Everybody was doing his work or her work loyally, faithfully and effectively. No order, command or persuasion was necessary. That is called, it is Krita Yuga, Krita Krityata. Everybody found fulfillment in what he did and what he wanted. Now that period and era passed. We came to the Treta Yuga, where Kaikeyi, one of the 3 queens of Dasharatha, became corrupted by her maidservant, her advice. Corruption started from there. When you came to Dwapara Yuga, a whole team, the larger team of Duryodhana, 100 sons and a number of others, they got corrupted. They refused to take the sound advice and gospel given by the grandfather, by the teacher, by other elders of the palace. And ultimately a Mahabharata war precipitated on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. This is all a result of corruption. Now we have come to the Kali Yuga where corruption is more widespread. But understand, as in the Krita Yuga, now also there will be and there are a few people who stand by goodness, virtue, tolerance and all kinds of values that they can think of. By any extent of the people belonging to the opposite category, the right and the well-meaning people should never become shaken, dislodged or timid. Understand it very carefully. So these are the 5 virtues: Kshama, Arjava, Daya, Tosha, Satyam. One is called patience and tolerance, straightforwardness, and then Daya, compassion, then contentment and truthfulness. See, the Hindu scriptures speak about a number of virtues and a number of values. They are so numerous. Swamiji, is it possible to see all of them, read them and practice? No. We have got a synopsis, an epitomized version of all. Ahimsa, Satyam, Asteyam, Shaujam, Indriya, Nigraha. These are the ethical, physical, mental and intellectual restraints and disciplines. Ahimsa, non-hurting. Satyam, truthfulness. Asteyam, not taking any article belonging to the others without their permission. Shauja, external and internal cleanliness. Keep your body and dress clean. Keep the house in which you live clean. Not only the drawing room, but the bathroom and the kitchen also. Keep undergarments, they also should be cleaned. Everything should become clean. And the cleaning should enter into the mental area where you become pure. More and more purity. Like you want pure milk, pure sugar, everything pure. Similarly, your behavior, your character, your interaction should be graced by more and more of purity, refinement. Indriya Nigraha, a moderation and a control, a regulation over your senses, 5 in number. Now these are the 5-fold disciplines which are enjoined for all human beings at all times, in all places in the world. Everything else is an extension, an expansion and a multiplication of these. So we have got a beautiful synopsis. Ahimsa, Satyam, Asteyam, Shaujamindriya, Nigraha. Now I come back to the Ashtavakra Samhita real discussion. I told you very clearly that the entire creation consists of 6 factors or constituents. How many?
6.
How many?
6.
How many?
6.
And the 5 are outside, visible to all people alike. The first is the earth, solid, water, fluid, air, gaseous, fire representing all forms of energy, and ultimately space or ether. These are the only 5 surrounding us. Nothing more. And there is only a 6th factor. The 6th factor is opposed to these, besides these, and inward to these.